Hi, everybody. I hope you're all well. Um, I made a video yesterday about taking my kids to a public meeting so that they can gain experience making public comments, advocating for their communities, advocating for themselves. And, I mentioned that my son, he got nervous in giving his public comment, and, he got through it, but he said it's hard speaking in public, and no argument there. I totally understand, and I'm not mad at him or anything of the sort. I'm proud of him for having done it. But here's what was a trip. The comment after his was given by someone that looked like my son, but was maybe 3 years old. And that little kid said, I would like bike lanes to and from the zoo so that we don't have to drive there. We can bike there. I want to bike to the zoo. And the meeting was like a city council meeting slash community meeting. And after him, I would say about four other little kids um, under the age of 5 gave public comments. Another little kid raised his hand and he says, I want there to be times when I can feed the animals. Another kid said, yeah, I would go and I would feed the animals too. I want what he wants. And adults would be like, I support that comment. I feel the same way. And then they would elaborate. And then another kid said, I'd like a train to go around the zoo so that I could sit in it and look at the animals. And these were all ideas that hadn't been brought up and are legitimate things for consideration, within reason. You're not going to let a little kid go feed a tiger, but you might let him feed some less dangerous animals. And the point of it was that here I was taking my kids, in their teens to start giving them this experience, hoping that it's a way of protecting, our community in the future, because my kids understand the process for engaging, for advocating, for calling out their government and or working with their government towards goals that benefit the community, right? And I was proud of that. And then this morning I started thinking, man, these other folks in these wealthier communities, you know, by no means did I come up with this idea. They got their kids there as 3 and 4 years old, already giving them a voice in public meetings. That 3 year old has something to say, and the city council, the chief of police was there. I think the chief of the fire department was there. Um, the town's leaders were all there, and they heard what these little kids had to say. And that's kind of what this video's about, because even as I thought I was being proactive and providing some type of leadership in my community through my kids, teaching them, this is how you can advocate. Um, I went to this meeting and saw that there's folks way ahead of us in this, and those folks, nobody was asking for anything bad. They were asking for good things for a zoo. But if those folks, those kids grow up to be, um, you know, work for the government and are what you call a corporate man who's always putting the company before maybe the truth or anything else, that's who your kid now as an adult frustrated with the issues is going to go make arguments against. Maybe your kids might not be for something in their community when they're adults, and they go say, hey, we don't like this because of this and this. And then you have someone that since the age of 3 and 4 already knows the language and the lingo and how to word things so that um, They seem more doable, more feasible. They're more convincing. So again, this is just like to emphasize yesterday's message, which is to teach your kids early how to use their words for the greater good. And all those kids were doing it for the greater good. I'm not like trying to ascribe any bad things to anybody because it was like a wealthier. None of that. I mean, I'm just saying if anybody has concerns that our community doesn't have a voice, we're not heard, well, you need to teach your kids how to be heard and how to expect that. Those kids, their parents expected the government to stop and listen to their kids. That's how much of a voice they give them. Give your kids a voice. Much love, y'all.